Hey guys, welcome back to 3D Print Farm. Don't you hate it when you spend hours and hours in Chi2Box making all those tiny little supports trying to support your model so it doesn't fall into the vat? And then, after that, spend hours and hours and hours printing it only to find out that the arm of the knoll or the orc has failed and it looks like a pancake? I'm going to show you a quick and easy free tool that's going to help you find all those unsupported islands and overhangs to help you print stuff like this. Check it out. It's the Node Leader from Cast and Play. As the rooster said, let's do this. Okay guys, let's get started. So now I've opened the Node Leader from Cast and Play. I'm going to leave a link in the description below in the video so you guys can go check out their Patreon site. They've got a lot of cool models out there, so make sure and check them out. So we've got the creepy looking Node Leader. I tell you, the detail on these models are just unbelievable. And also the overhangs can be unbelievable, because if you look at some of the details on here and some of the supports that you're going to need, because you're thinking to yourself, well, let's see, I'm gonna rotate this guy this way, or if I'm gonna rotate him this way, or am I gonna get the nails to grow this way? And there's just 1,000 different ways that you could orient this one particular model. Again, this is just the way I do it. There's a lot of great how-to videos out on YouTube now for Chi2Box that show you how to orient your models, and I hope you guys have developed a workflow to help set your models up. And I would suggest that highly suggest you pick a workflow. You need to do something that works for you and stick with it, and once you do, you'll start learning all these little tips and tricks, and you'll develop a workflow of your own, and you'll make it your own, and you guys will be successful. So I want you guys to be successful. So anyway, this is how I do it. So I'm going to take the model, I'm going to put him down in Chi2Box. I'm going to go over here to my support structure, and I'm going to hit all. And it built a bunch of auto supports. And as all of you who have been doing this for a little while know, Chi2Box does pretty much a horrible job of setting up auto supports. It misses a lot of stuff. So, and what I mean by that is you can scroll through here, just for the sake of just looking, you can scroll through here and start seeing islands that pop up that don't have a support, and yeah. Okay, there's one right there, one right here. And you can float your mouse underneath here. There's nothing wrong with this. You'll see how this little black circle converges on itself, like this guy right here. Those are islands. Those are spots that won't be supported unless they have a support structure. Otherwise they'll try to print in midair, which is not cool. So anytime you see a little spot like this, that means it's going to attempt to support in midair. Well, the problem that I have run across with models like this that are so stinking intricate. This thing has, 1,201 layers. Can you imagine going through 1,201 layers, layer by layer, trying to figure out each and every little island? I know, yeah, you could flip it over, and you can look, and you can float your mouse over here and say, okay, well, there's all the red spots, and yeah, and that's all fine. But, I really don't have time to go through and spend hours setting this model up. If I could figure out a way, or if I could find a way that's automated that will find all those overhangs for me, wouldn't that be awesome? Well, the tool that I have found was developed by the Anycubic Photon folks, and I have an Anycubic Photon, and I belong to the Anycubic Photon users group, and they have a ton of talented developers and users on that forum. It's unbelievable. They have developed some open source software that's completely free to use that will help you with your supports. And that program that I'm talking about is called the Photon File Validator. And what this thing does, it is just unbelievable. What it will do is it will analyze each and every layer and tell you where your overhangs are and where your islands are. It's just, it's crazy. But this is how you got to set it up. It's not just written for the Photon. It's written for anyone that uses Chi2Box. Anyone that exports a CBDDLP file extension, which is the sliced object from Chi2Box. So if you're using an Epax X1, or you're using an Anycubic Photon, or using the Elegoo Mars, any resin printer that uses Chi2Box can use this software. So let's get started. You know, I've just put a standard set of auto supports on this beast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to slice it. Because like I said before, the Photon File Validator reads the CBDDLP files or Photon files. So it needs to be in that particular file format before it can read it. Okay, once it's done slicing, I'm going to save it. And I'm going to call this null unsupported. If I can spell null unsupported. Is that it? Null unsupported. Is there two T's in supported? Because unsupported. Null unsupported. Okay. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through here and write that file, the null unsupported CBDDLP file. Try to say that 3 times fast. Okay, when this file finishes writing, we're going to bounce over to the Photon File Validator. Now, if you're using dual monitors, you can have the Photon File Validator in one monitor and Chi2Box in the other. Or if you have one, you can just bounce back and forth by going to the toolbar down here and just flip back and forth between each one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a file. I'm going to grab the null unsupported CBDDLP file and I'm going to open it. If you look up here, it says calculating Photon file layer. It is actually going through and it is calculating and looking for unsupported islands throughout this entire model, all 1201 layers, which is crazy to me. Okay, so now you've got this mess here, and you can see up here it's found some problems. Unsupported islands found in layers 100, 112, 115, 194. Well, what I like to do is click the Fix button. And it's going to tell me there are 91 layers in this 1201 layer model that have some issues. Now, some of these layers have an issue with 1 pixel, okay? 1 pixel. Those I really don't worry about. I'm worried about the one that has, 228 pixel issues. So, but this thing is so amazing, it will fix the 1 pixel errors. All I have to do is click Start. It's going to go through and fix these 1 or 2 pixel errors. It's going to blast through. When it's done, in fact, it's already finished. I click OK. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. And I'm going to, you can see it's already named it null unsupported -1. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to reopen that file, null unsupported -1. Because remember, it went through and fixed all of the little issues. Now we're going to deal with the big issues. So now it's going through and calculating all those layers once again. Now I'm at this spot, so I'm going to click Fix again because I kind of like to, I kind of want to know how many layers I'm dealing with. So I'm going to click Fix. Hey, check this out. Now I only have 56 islands to deal with. Okay, I'm good with that. So I'm going to click OK. Now what I want to do is I need to figure out where these islands are. Now check this out. If I go up here and click this button, I'm going to click the right arrow button, it's going to go, boom, check that out. Layer 100. Right there, that red blob is an unsupported island. So what I do is I go back down here to Chi2Box. I go to my support structure, scroll down. What was that again? It was layer 100. Let's go back over here, and I scroll up to 100. Now, if you're here and this scroll bar is acting kind of wonky, all you got to do is click off, click your arrow keys, or hold your arrow key down, and you can see the numbers climb. So I'm going to go to 100, and I'm going to go through and play Let's Find the Island. Can anyone spot the island? Ah, look at that, right there at layer 100. just like it showed. I'm spinning around making myself dizzy. There it is, right there. Okay. I was going to try to orient it the way it's set up in the Photon file validator, which is right there, which is right there. Let me go back. So all I really have to do is say, oh, there's my unsupported island. Boom. There you go. There's a support. That one's done. Go back here. Next. Layer 115. Whoa, there's a big chunk there. All I got to do, go back, click here, click my up arrow, hold it down, go up to layer 115. And look through here, and can you see it? Right there. Just like it showed in the file validator, there's a little strip right in there. And check this out. There's like 3 layers between that island. I mean, sometimes, guys, I don't catch stuff like this, and it's very frustrating because, like I said before, you spend hours and hours supporting these files, and then you go back and spend more hours printing it, and then something jacks up, and it's just really, really frustrating because you got to go back, you got to try to figure it out. The Photon file validator takes care of that for you. So again, there's my island there. All I got to do is go under it, put a support. Finished. Okay? Go back, click the next one. You guys are kind of getting the idea here. See the little crosshairs. This one's going to be toward the top of the file. This is at layer 207. I go over here. I'm going to move it down because I know it's going to be in this area. Click anywhere on the build plate area here. Click my up arrow key. I'm going to go to, what's that again? Losing my mind here, folks. 207. All right, 207. Hold the button down. Hold the mouse. Hold the arrow key in. Go up to 207. Now you probably saw it before I did. Check that out. There's only 1 layer in between the two. That is just nuts. That is crazy. Okay, look at this. This is one layer 207. Okay, there it is, right there. There's the island. It's just a teeny tiny blob. Now there's no way I would have found that. There's no way. Because when it jumps to 208, it looks like it's complete. But it's not. So what that would have meant is this area, and I'll show you here in just a moment. Let me go back over here, and I'm going to support this dude. Let me scroll under here, and I'm going to put a support right there. Check this out. If this thing would have built out, this entire bottom of this hook that is on the Knowles mace here would have been either flat or this part would have failed, and you would have probably thought to yourself, how in the heck did that thing fail? So anyway, the Photon file validator can pick all these out. Now I'm not going to bore you to death with going through each and every one of these because there's quite a few to fix here, but you guys kind of get the idea. You bounce back and forth between the Photon file validator and Chi2 box. Like again, click the next arrow. Okay, there's 216. There's a little tiny one up there. So again, bounce back over here, scroll down here to 214, 216, and that's going to be somewhere right there. I kind of getting a knack to spot these little monsters, and then I'll support it right there. There we go, it's building out. And again, like I said, you could sit here and you could use Chi2 box and go through it, but why? Why would you spend all your time going through layer by layer when you have an automated tool that tells you exactly where the unsupported islands and structures are? It's just nuts. I know I sound a little bit excited, but when I saw this, I thought this is going to help a bunch of people set up their supports, especially for these complicated models that have tons of overhangs and islands. It's just totally amazing. So again, once you get everything complete and set up, you can run this again and make sure that it caught everything. And that's what I did. I went through and I fixed all of the issues with my islands, and I went and saved it. And the cool thing about it is when you save this, it also allows you to set your exposure time, just like Chi2 box. Set your off time, your bottom exposure, your bottom layers. You can rename it if you want. So if you're doing a test, the first time I printed this, I had no issues. I had absolutely no issues with unsupported islands, which I was really totally amazed, especially with an item that was just, so intricate like this. So what I suggest is you guys give this a try. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You're probably asking yourself, how do I get this wonderful software? Head over to photonsters.org, and this is their GitHub site. And you'll want to scroll down here through to the community projects setting. Right at the top of the community projects, you'll see the Photon file validator by Bonosoft or Bonosoft. I apologize if I mispronounced that. Click on the Photon file validator. You'll see some instructions on here on how to use it. Of course, I didn't cover everything, but they keep this guy really up to date. I mean, it supports anti-aliasing now, which is really super cool. There's a lot of tips and tricks in here. They show you how to install. You can install it on a Mac. You can install it on Linux. You can put it, of course, on Windows. One thing I want to mention: if you're installing it on Windows, if you have the JavaScript or the Java version 8 run environment, you'll use this installer. If you do not have the runtime engine, you'll use the other one. If you install it and it's not there, you can put Java on there. If not, you can do the other. Again, it's a little confusing, but this is just the instructions. The actual install files are here, and this is the Photon file validator. You can scroll down below. You'll see there's the DMG file for Mac. There's the jar file for Linux, and then we have the two Windows files here. They don't take a lot of room, and they're just awesome. And like I said, the guys over at on the Anycubic Photon user group are fantastic individuals. They'd be glad to help with anything. In fact, some of them they're actually over on our Mars forum, and they help us out. And I'd like to see us helping them out if we can give them some help on their issues, because it basically uses the same board, uses the same system board as the Anycubic Photon. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave a link in the description below to the Photon file validator, and I'm going to leave a link in the description below to Cast and Play's fantastic Patreon site. Again, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. And again, guys, I want to see you successful with your prints and just get as much enjoyment out of your printers as possible, because this is a great hobby. It's a lot of fun. If you're into miniatures or just into 3D printing in general, resin printing is just awesome. I can't say enough about it. Hey guys, thanks again for joining us here on 3D Print Farm. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. I'm going to post links in the description below to all the tools we used here on today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comment section below. I'll be glad to answer any and all questions. In fact, do you guys like this little guy? The Knoll leader? Along with his customized base. Tell you what, I'm going to give this Knoll leader along with the customized base along to one of you lucky guys out there. All you have to do is like and subscribe this video, and by the time the next video rolls around, probably in a week or so, I'm going to give this dude away and I'll announce the winner. So good luck, everyone. Once again, we'll see you next time on... Rooster's not crowing. We'll see you next time on 3D Print Farm. Bye now. Hey guys, thanks for joining us once again here on 3D Print Farm. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I know I did. If you... I know I did. Hey guys, thanks again for joining us here on 3D Print Farm.
all the links. Hey guys, once again, thanks for joining us here on 3D Print Farm. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. All the stuff we talked about today, as far as the Photon, all the stuff we talked